with us today is Alexis, who's going to be doing the voice for Reeve slash Raven. Alexis, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So yeah, this the first thing I wanted to ask is, and if you feel comfortable answering this question, is how do you identify in terms of like sexuality and gender identity?
Okay, so I am an omnisexual transgender woman.
Omnisexual. I don't think I've heard that term before. What does that mean?
It essentially means that you are attracted to people of different gender identities and things of that nature, but it's kind of like a tiered list in your mind.
Okay, that makes sense. And I wanted to ask, what first drew you to this project?
I just really like the unique concept behind it of fairy tale dreaming of real life instead of the other way around. That was one of the main draws for me at the beginning. And then, of course, also all the queer representation, the trans representation, gay representation, all the above.
Well, that was actually going to be leading into my next question, and that is, how do you feel about the level of representation in games today? Do you think that most large mainstream games are doing a good job with queer and trans representation?
I think that when it comes to representation in video games and other media, a lot of the time these days it is done in a more respectful way, but there's still a tremendous problem with casting authentically, especially the trans community.
So this project's definitely going to have a lot of authentic and diverse casting. And I wanted to ask specifically, what about that do you think uh, improves a project?
I think it adds a bit of realism to a character to have a more authentic cast. And it allows people to tell their stories in a way that they may not have been able to in their personal lives.
Hmm.
And to a large extent, I think it helps build a sense of connection between trans people playing the games and the characters themselves.
Okay. I think that about covers all the questions that I had. Did you have any like final comment before I wrap up the interview?
I would just say if you're a transgender person out there, I would definitely play this game. And I'm not saying that as a cast member, I am saying that as a fellow trans person, that you should uh, definitely play this game if you want to feel yourself adequately represented.
Awesome. Well, I definitely thank you so much for this interview, and I thank you for the amount of talent that you're going to apply to the role, and also just for wanting to support the project in so many other ways.
Well, thank you so much.